Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. Today we have a video. I think it's going to be like a short video, but I just wanted to give you like some tips on audiobooks and like my journey with audiobooks, because I don't know how long it was, but I think it was like 2 years ago. Like I did a video all about books on this channel. It's in Portuguese, but like it was all about books and how I started reading, because I've read since I was a child. So it's kind of like just natural to me, even though there's like a big wave of BookTok, BookTube, Bookstagram, and like so many people started reading on during the pandemic, or like on behalf of this trend they just started reading now, or like in the last couple of years, which is okay. Like it's totally legit, and I'm just glad that more and more people are getting into the habit of reading, even though I totally get it if someone doesn't like to read, and it's okay. They just get entertainment and like culture or like knowledge from other sources. But I like to read. I've always read in my life. I've always carried a book with me. Like if you ask people that are close to me, like my parents, some childhood friends or something, they will always say that I was carrying like a book in my purse. We are in a self-care day today, that's why I look like this, but I thought it would be fun. Like, okay, so I did that video, and I think that in that video I talked about me completely despising audiobooks, which I don't now. Like I don't despise audiobooks or people that listen to audiobooks. However, I still cannot say that audiobooks are books. And I don't get it when people are saying like, oh, I'm reading this. No, you are listening to that. You're not reading. Because reading, like even for me, now that I also listen to audiobooks, I don't say that it is the same thing. Like, and I don't feel it is the same thing, even though I'm learning and like I'm getting the same story. For example, I'm listening to the audiobook, my friend is reading it, we are getting the same story, we are observing the same characters, the same lines, but it's not the same activity, it's not the same hobby. Reading a book, it's a completely different experience. You have to be more focused. I think it's easier to just listen than read, like easier as in like focus wise. You have to be fucking reading, like you have to look into something, so that's why it requires more focus. Because sometimes, like most of the times, I'm listening to another book, I'm not just like staring at the window, I'm doing something else. And even if I was staring at the window, I would be looking into people. So that's two activities at a time, which is not possible when you're reading. That's why I created a different highlight on my Insta story. One is books, and then I created a whole different highlight for audiobooks, because I can't say, oh, I read that book. No, I listened to that book. And we can discuss the story, but it's just not the same. So this is me saying like, I don't despise audiobooks now, because I just listen to them. So if I would despise them, it would be like controversial and like it didn't make sense. But I'm still a little skeptical to them. I'm not 100% open to the audiobook world. That's why I don't pay apps, and that's why I still read more than I listen. I started listening to audiobooks when I arrived in Germany, because I started realizing that since I'm working every day, like Monday to Friday, 8 hours a day, so I started realizing that when I arrived home, I just wanted to watch a TV show, like an entertaining TV show, and not something heavy. Or like, for me, reading, even though it's just something so natural, it requires a little bit of like mental space, like, and I was just so tired that I couldn't just read my book I could read like a chapter or two, but that's nothing when you want to just read books more and more. And I always read in the transports, in the metro or in the train. Like I'm always reading my book, but it's just like one chapter at a time. If I want to get the stories, I have to find another way, because I can only read like binge read, like have a reading marathon during the weekends. And sometimes like during the weekends I also want to meet other people and like do other chores at the house. Not that I want, but I have to. So it's just like once a week that I can do a reading marathon. And for me that was kind of like whoa. So I started like trying to listen to audiobooks. Like I chose books that I had on my TBR, or they are like on TikTok or something, but I'm not like just willing to read them in a paperback, like there I don't see them as worth it of like buying or like spending the time reading them, since I don't have that time now. My first audiobooks was Love on the Brain by Haley Hazelwood, because I read Love Theoretically on the pandemic and I didn't love it. It was a 3-star for me, so it was like, okay, I think it's going to be like an entertaining thing to listen to, but it's just not worth it for me like to spend, I don't know, 2 days if I was reading consistently. This is the main reason why I'm recording this video, is like how to listen to audiobooks without paying. So it's basically like how to listen to free audiobooks. I started just searching on YouTube, because I was like, YouTube has everything, and I've never had the idea to search there like if they have audiobooks for free, because I saw an account on Spotify with free audiobooks with like Icebreaker, Atomic Habits, a bunch of books. They were not a lot of them, and when I was going to listen to another one they were like blocked. So probably it was like a new account and it started getting popular and they just blocked it because it doesn't have copyrights. Okay, let me search on YouTube, and I found a lot of books including Love on the Brain. I found Inheritance Games, Hunger Games, Harry Potter. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna save them, like save it for later. But I was not prepared for this, because they said it was like full audiobook. So I was like, okay. When I was listening to Love on the Brain, it just stopped. Usually a book of like 200-300 pages is like 8 hours of audio. So if you are seeing something that is like 2 hours, no, don't get it, don't buy it. But it was like an audio of, I don't know, for 4 hours, and I thought it was it. But then I was like, no, this is not the end. Like this is just like the end of a chapter. So then I was like, what am I going to do? Like I'm not willing to pay, because they are expensive. Like audiobooks are expensive, and like subscriptions to audiobook apps quite expensive for me. Figuring out other thing out, because like it's not a book that it's really good. It was not that great, but I wanted to finish. Just think, like figure something out. You can do it. Sometimes it takes a few hours, sometimes it takes a few days, but I'll get it. When I was in my master last year, when I had to read papers, but I was like, oh my god, it's going to take me so much, and I just want to get a general idea. I have to read every single word. What I used to do was, I was on Microsoft Office and I was like on Word, and I would download the Word file and I would just read it out loud. Then it just clicked me like, okay, I'm gonna find the book online on PDF, because I have 100%, I'm 100% sure that I'm going to find it. And then I just convert it to Word and I'll just read it out loud, and let's find out if it's like too mechanical, because some voices can be like, just okay, I can't, like this is a book, I have to, I need some life. Now we are getting into the steps. You go on the library, you get the PDF. If you don't find it, text me. Like, I'm just saying it here. If you don't find a book, text me and I'll send it to you. And then you put on Google PDF to Word. Just these 3 words, PDF to Word. And you click the first website that appears. Like, it doesn't matter. You just want to convert the file. Just do it. Because, like, I'm saying this because I don't even have, like, website to recommend to you. I just click on the first one. You convert to Word and you download it to your computer. Then you open the Word and you click on review on the top. You click review and then read out loud. I think it's like read out loud because my word is in Portuguese, so I'm just like literally translating. Then on the right it's going to appear like it starts reading the text, and then in the right it's going to appear like a box, and you can change the voice, like male or female, and the speed of the voice, because sometimes they are just reading too slow, and I'm like, okay. You consider that you can listen to every audiobook for free with this method. It's not even like a bother, like it is what it is. It's cheap vodka. I was afraid it was going to be too mechanical, but I don't think it is. And usually what I do is like I go on Spotify. I also do this when I'm reading now. Put a playlist of the book. Like you just write on Spotify like things we never got over. You put playlists on Spotify and someone created a playlist on that book. And if it's too famous, you have like 10 playlists about that. And that's what I also do for audiobooks all the time, because even though the voice is not too mechanical, of course it doesn't feel like someone is reading to you. So I just put a background music. I lower the sound because I want to hear the voice more than the music. And I just do the same. Like I go on Spotify, I pick the playlist related to the book, and that's it. And like it's enjoyable. Okay, I was with a friend and I was telling her all of these, like, oh, you have to do that because you are just paying an app, like don't. She was like, yeah, but like if I want to listen on my phone, like how can I do it? So it's not going to work out. And I was like, okay, let me go home and I'll tell you if it works on the phone. So I downloaded the Word for iPhone, so it works. I did basically the same thing I do on the computer, on my laptop. I downloaded the PDF for the phone, then I converted it to Word, and then I opened like directly on the Word app, and it has the option to read out loud, so it's basically the same thing. You can listen to audiobooks for free both ways, and you don't need mobile data or Wi-Fi because it's already there, it's downloaded. So that's a plus. I guess this was it. I still don't feel the same way I feel for books than I feel for audiobooks. I'll forever be a reader, but I think this is a great way to adapt to audiobooks. If you also are skeptical, just try it out. Like, it's not the same, go with that mindset, but also give it a little chance. I guess that was it. You can always find what I read or what I listen to on my Instagram. I always leave them on the highlights, and also some updates on my life. My podcast that goes out every week on Spotify. I hope these tips were useful. If you have any question regarding audiobooks or others, but like especially audiobooks, you can leave it in the comments or like ask me on Instagram. Bye!